My name is Cadet Lutz, and today I'm joined by Cadet Provine. We are here to present our requirement diagram for our retirement tool, and then work our way into our block diagram and our sequence diagram. So, using a series of requirements to create a retirement tool, we broke down our structure with the retirement tool itself at the top. The system shall calculate the value of the soldier's career, whether it be military or civilian. That will then break down into calculations, display values, and proceed to look up values that correspond to any sort of input. So, in calculations, the system shall calculate the values of a soldier's career and retirement options. In display values, the system shall display a soldier's career value and retirement value. And then in the lookup values, the system will have the ability to reference values given the inputs pertaining to a soldier's current status. Following the requirement diagram itself, the calculations will then further break down into the system shall calculate the value of the career using inputs for the career calculations itself. For the retirement calculations, the system shall calculate the value of each retirement option based off of the inputs that the soldier actually provides. The system will also have the ability to display these values in a graph retirement display, in which the system shall graphically display the net value of each retirement option, in addition to a career display table that will display the net value of the soldier's military and civilian careers in table form. For any values that need to be looked up, there will be a series of inputs, whether they be career inputs, retirement inputs, or just basic inputs. For career inputs, the system shall be able to accept career inputs and reference corresponding values for the military or civilian career options. The retirement inputs, the system shall be able to accept retirement inputs based and reference corresponding values for those inputs. And any basic inputs, the system will accept basic information about the soldier and reference values regarding that information. All the information that the system itself in the requirement diagram will be referenced through a series of um, important considerations that we will look at in our block diagram, and then finally in our sequence diagram that Cadet Provine will now present.
So when looking at our retirement tool, it can be broken down into four major blocks. So we identify these as our user interface, data tables, list, and our output. So obviously, a soldier needs to be able to go up to this tool and to be able to use it effectively. So that produces our user interface, part of our retirement tool. As part of the um, as part of the interaction, there needs to be a set of lists that the soldier can interact with, and these are the list: rank, years of service, age, expected ETS retirement, um, and all the other ones that are shown below it. And these are the things that the soldier can manipulate to put in their specific situation. From there, it'll interact with the user interface, but to make it easier for the soldier, there are going to be data tables that the lists will reference. We've broken this down into Army tables and civilian tables. So there are a lot of things in the Army that we get paid for, like our housing allowance. We get our basic pay, which is sort of like our salary. We get educational allowance in the form of the GI Bill. We get TRICARE, so there's health care. There's even special pay for deployments, and then our dependents get benefits. So there are a lot of things that these lists will contribute um, to finding in our Army tables. And then we also have civilian tables. Um, we have the civilian salary and the civilian value of healthcare that it will reference. And then all of these will come together to produce our desired output, which is going to be our retirement options bar graph, which is seen in our requirements diagram, a monetary value of the military career, and a monetary value of the civilian career. And then we'll move on to our sequence diagram to better understand how these blocks interact with each other. So, so if you look at our sequence diagram, it's broken up the same way into user interface, data tables, list. So instead of output, we have our user because we want to see how our user interacts with our system. So they're going to be a set of lists, the same lists that were under our block diagram: age, rank, years of service, uh, expected ETS, retirement diagram, retirement date, location, civilian job, healthcare, dependents, and deployments. So these are the lists that the user will first see when they open the tool. From there, they'll have the option to input their specific situation of age, rank, years of service, and the like into the user interface. The user interface will be like a spreadsheet or a tool that will then reference specific data tables. So that's where you see them coming from the user interface after the user's inputted it into the data tables, referencing the Army tables and the civilian tables that we had on our block definition diagram. From there, they'll be able to find the corresponding numbers like salaries, housing allowance, education benefits, healthcare benefits, special pay depending on their deployments. Like the healthcare benefits depend on the inputs of dependents here that the user will input into the user interface. Then it's going to make some calculations within itself about the net present value of the Army career, the net present value of the civilian career, and the net present value of the retirement. From there, the user interface will provide the output to the user in the form of the retirement options graph, civilian career value, and the Army career value.